Okay, Viper's videos back in the barn for part 2 of my review, or more like just fun experiences with the Diana Bandit PCP 177 caliber. If you remember in the first video, I was having a lot of difficulties with everything from the gun wasn't patterning. I had some trouble with feeding, whether I was using the magazine or the single shot pellet tray. So at the end of that video, I was saying that I still really like the gun. I think it's great, but it's definitely got a rough area I've got to look into and see if I could straighten some things around. Well, since then, I had actually taken the barrel out, and I did order the barrel band, but I took the barrel out and there was a huge burr running completely around. It was a very jagged burr actually. Running around the edge of the chamber breech area there, and no doubt in my mind that caused a great deal of the feeding issues. The O-ring is still really tight. You say to me, well, what do you mean by really tight? Well, compared to other guns I have where the breech is sealed off by an O-ring through the probe, it's just this is a much tighter diameter on the pellet heads than the rest of them. Now, the good thing is I think that boosts my feet per second and foot-pounds of energy. As I mentioned in the last video, what are we doing here? Depending on the pellets, I'm averaging, the gun was advertised at 9.5 FPE, but I'm getting 10.9 to 11.2, more powerful than it was advertised. So obviously no air is probably leaking out anywhere in the whole firing sequence. But anyway, I cleaned that all up while I was waiting for the barrel band. I did actually order that from Pyramid Air, and it was really, it fit like a glove. I'll show you some pictures here. It's the Diana Stormrider band barrel, and it fit perfectly. The only problems I would say that came with it, it came with a much longer than this, a socket head cap screw, have the button top like this one, and nothing in the bottom. So I just dug around and found what I needed to find, and it's working out fine. It really stabilized and tightened up the barrel to receiver, barrel to cylinder fit, and I have no doubt that, boy, these should actually come on the, they should really come on the pistol. It's a shame that it doesn't, but I suppose for 179 or maybe even cheaper somewhere else dollars for this pistol, you can't probably expect them to give you everything. And it was really only $10 more, but also shipping. So I got the shipping for this free, and then I ended up paying for that. So it was unfortunate, but it's a much better pistol, as you'll see. Okay, I cleaned up the chamber of the barrel, I got the barrel band, and then I added, as I mentioned, I was going to add a Bushnell TRS-25 3 MOA red dot, and I was really glad I did that as well because that's much easier for me to see. In the next picture I'm going to show you with the target, I just had mounted this and all I did was adjust the red dot to the top of the sight, hoping that it was at least fairly in alignment, and then shot this next target. So literally I just did that right after mounting it. I'd used these H&N Sport 8.18 wad cutters, 10 meters away, 10 shots all in that hole. And I had actually rested a little bit on the barrel band, on my elbow. I did a little bit of everything, all within that string that you just saw in that picture. So it worked out really well. I was really happy. The feeding was fine. The consistency of the grouping, no matter how I rested the pistol, was right there. So really, this barrel band alone, I'm going to just say, if you buy one of these guns, you might as well just add this on there because there's just no way that shouldn't be on there. It seems like it should be strong enough with these 3 set screws And I suppose that it is, but I still think that there's enough flex when that fires, or if you're resting it, it's just enough to throw those groups off. I mean, I don't know how to prove any of that except for just showing you the pictures of what it was here. And then, you know, what happened after I put the barrel band on. I don't believe that cleaning up that burr on the chamber had that much to do with it. I suppose it could have deformed a couple pellets, but really I think it's the stabilization of the barrel to the receiver and cylinder that really helped, at least in the case of my gun. So hopefully other people will find that works for them as well. Oh, actually, I hadn't used this magazine since the last time when it gave me trouble. So I'll see how this feeds today. I think what I'll do here is I will just take and try, I'll put the safety on, and I will try the magazine right up front here. Remember, here's a single shot tray. And the magazine I have loaded with the H&N Sport Wad Cutters 8.18. And if it's, oh boy, that just slides right in. Okay, and if everything fits me good, look at that, perfect, safety's on. Yeah, so everything's working so much better now that I removed that burr. It has nothing to do with the barrel band, of course, but I really had a hard time at first with the loading, either with the single shot tray or the magazine. So let's go down here now. And just kind of, like to say, off the cuff, let's just give her a shot and see how it's going. All right, here we go. Well, it's feeding like a dream. Unbelievably feeding well. And that's it. Safety on. Oh, not as good a group as it did the other day, but I still think that's still pretty dang good. So, yeah, it looks like there's, I don't know if I want to call them flyers on the two outside edges, but I got to believe that I'm just not near as steady as I used to be even in rested. But I did rest this the whole time on the cylinder. And as I think I mentioned in the previous video, or at least part one of this, it really has a perceivable kick to it. So it's possible that it just kicks enough that it's being lightweight, that it just jumps enough to make a little bit of a variation. But, or it could be the feet per second, I imagine, with these here. So if the other ones were, I don't have my paper with me, but I know I was getting in the the mid to high 8s with a 7 grain, and I was getting in the high 6s with a 10 grain. So this is probably in the mid to high 7s. And again, if it's probably going anywhere from 740 to 800, I imagine that changes the trajectory. But boy, that picture I had of that last one, that group, that was 10 shots. Maybe, it was just a lot more steady that day. In any case, I'm splitting hairs. That's still not bad. That's pretty good. Real happy with it. The magazine feeding was excellent. No problems at all. So it was obviously that burr. The power seems real good. The accuracy is way more than acceptable. And overall, I would say still with that piece, that still put this at $190. So for under 200 bucks, you've got a really powerful 177 or 22 caliber PCP, whichever way you decide to go. And you can put your own sights on it. I don't know, it just seems like a really good bargain to me. I'm really happy with it. You know, a little bit rough out of the gate, but a little bit of time and effort into it, and now, I mean, it's way more than acceptable. So I think I'm gonna adjust the scope and a couple clicks up or to the left and see if I can improve my little bit of bullseye shooting here. Okay, I made a couple of adjustments to the scope. Let's see how I did. I also switched to the single shot tray. I'm not using the magazine now, so, and boy, that's loaded really smooth. All right, looks like I need to go probably down just a smidge and a little bit to the right, so I'll try. This time went like kind of loose, but maybe I should try that upper target. There it is. All right. Boy, when did I, okay, so that's that one there. I don't know when I did, it must have been last. I don't know, I'll look on the video, but I'll tell you what, I'm still super happy with that. If you look at the pictures that I had when I first got it, and I mean, I realize that obviously a lot of it can be the shooter, but I'm telling you, that was a shotgun pattern no matter what I did. And nothing's happened to the inside of that bore. I just cleaned up that chamber, and then, like I said, this barrel band's made all the difference in the world. Being able to rest on that air cylinder, and you can still do that. And it looks like maybe I've warmed up a little bit, but I don't know, it's probably the same group. But yeah, just with a few adjustments of a screwdriver. I mean, I'm only at, you know, what, 10 yards, 10 meters, probably 30, 32 some feet. It's not that far, but that's still a pretty darn nice group. And I mean, I don't know, it's more than acceptable for a sub $200 PCP. Where am I at as far as kind of not safe, right? Yep. Okay, so I am at 100 and, need the light. I'm still at, looks like 130 bar after 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, I think like I said in the last video, looks like you can for sure get 16 good shots, which is well, 18 good shots. I think the magazine holds 9. Yeah, it says 9 rounds right there. So I think you can easily get 20 shots or more. It just depends, you know, how. But in closing, I'm just rambling again as I always do. Like I say, I'm really happy with this. It turned out really well. Just cleaned up the chamber. I did actually adjust the trigger, but that's, everybody can do it what they want. I probably took maybe a half a pound out of it. But that barrel band is a must. It looks nice. And it just really improved my groups. I can't believe they don't sell it with that, but whatever, they can do what they want. But I'm real happy with it. It's accurate. It's very reliable. It's very attractive, and it's very inexpensive for what it is. You get a lot of features. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the upgraded video where things worked out quite well compared to the first one, and thanks again for watching.